there about why the campaign is the way it is, but I guess we can have that talk in another time.
Hey, I mean, I'm always down for that talk. Anyways, we are live. Welcome to the Ilderon Tales. This is Group 1.
Dicks.
Wait, did you say Dicks? That's 2.
I did.
Anyways,
Color-code it.
we have Ben playing Stormir tonight, Jeff playing Lantier, JD controlling Malik, Taylor controlling Lumigrax, Wesley controlling Dirge, and Woody, Justin will be joining later in the session to control Woody. When we last left off, the party had just gotten to the capital of Ardor, and they tried to turn in a quest to an NPC that they were unable to find. Immediately after that, they chose to go to Lantier's mother's house. Surprise, she's alive and she doesn't know he exists. And Lantier tried to rob the place. He ended off getting off with some documents. And
I didn't go to rob the place. I was there for information, to steal information.
Yeah,
That's
well,
the best-
Lantier
best
got
type of
exactly
stuff.
what he wanted. The rest of the party made a distraction in front of the house and then just all scattered like roaches. Dirge putting up the biggest of the distractions, stealing a cart of ore and running down the street, and drawing the attention of a whole contingent of guards before not narrowly getting away, easily just, oh my gosh, Usain bolting it and just dashing through the city. So when we left off, everybody was headed in different directions, and we're going to take a different, slower approach to the session tonight. As you guys still are pretty far ahead of everyone, as everyone else is like finishing up their time skips to where you're at. We're going to have a intimate session with each person doing the actions they described to me at the end of the last session. So Stormir said that he was going, or Ben said Stormir was going to go look for food near the docks. Lantier was headed back towards the docks. Grax is window shopping near the Forge District. Malik is looking for Stormir, and Dirge decided to head towards a brothel. Justin wasn't here for Woody, so whenever he joins, we'll see what Woody is up to. All right, so does anybody want their stuff to be handled first, or shall I roll a die? I think it makes sense to handle Stormir first, as he has 2 people looking for him.
Wait, who's looking for me?
Malik is looking for you, and Lantier is headed towards the docks.
Oh, okay.
Or would you guys rather me just
All right,
roll a die and pick someone?
I mean, I'll go first. Doesn't matter.
I'm doing a jaunty little walk through the city streets, whistling, leafing through the documents that I have as I head towards the docks. Reading up and finding out information, figuring out who I could sell this information to get money and possibly ruin my mother. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
All right. And I think I said last session, but I don't think I ever sent you what was on those papers. Said what they were about.
Honestly, don't remember. It's been 2 weeks.
Yeah. They were documents. There were documents to another council member on the Ethics Council, and they were talking about a cult, or not a cult forming, but zealots within the Chantry of Discipline. And that in other cities, the members of that chantry have been attacking other places of worship. And they were basically addressing her concerns. But anyways, I rolled a die, and it doesn't matter. Anyways, I got 1 for Stormier. So Stormier's headed back towards the docks to look for food.
Yep.
You want to expound upon that, or you just want me to tell you what's in the area?
Yeah, just look. He's looking for, like, I don't know if this is a thing at the capital, but I'm sure it is. But like fish and chips or something like that. Something along those lines, like a real casual, like, place to eat and drink.
Okay. Also, too, what I did want to do that I don't think we ever sat down and did. If you want to give like a brief description about the background of your character, if you want people to know it real quick, because I don't think some players in this session remember the things they sent me about their background.
Do you want me to give you a background on Stormier?
Yes. You don't have to go in depth. Just like summarize to me like what Stormier's like looking for in the world. Because I have things set up for each of you in the world. I just kind of want to remind you guys of what they are based on what you sent me.
I'm here.
Yeah,
Hey.
what's up, Justin?
Okay.
To bring you up to speed, the party is split up right now, and we're going by person to see what they're up to.
Okay. Let me sign into Roll20.
Otherwise, Ben, I can just tell you what's in the area.
Yeah, I mean, I was just reading through this, I guess, to try to
Okay.
give a summation of Stormier. Basically, like, lost most of his family, or all of his family, I should say. It's kind of depressing. And he exiled himself from the village in search for bigger and better things.
Bigger and better indeed.
More ale to drink.
Yeah.
It's always good.
Man, congratulations, guys. That's like 7 minutes without a dick joke.
3.
I know, right?
It was close.
Yeah. Yeah, so you are... the area that Stormier would be in would be... leaving the Forge Ring, you would be near Maiden's Watch Bridge on the east side of town.
Okay. Is this, like, in close relation to the docks?
Yes, it is. This bridge goes right over a smaller portion of the river. As this town's built on 2 rivers, so basically one side of it is a bay.
Okay.
Yeah, but over here you can find people of all different sorts moving cargo on and off riverboats, different little taverns and general stores set up in this area. This is the city proper, so you would be in a nicer area of town. You wouldn't have to be afraid of getting mugged.
Cool. I like that.
It's always a good feeling to have.
Security.
To not have to worry about getting... Yeah. All right. Yeah, so, like, there are pubs and stuff around, you said?
Yes.
What are my options there?
Imagination.
I know, right? This part of
All right, I'm gonna walk into the Fox and the Hound.
yeah, this part of town, I don't have like all the buildings specifically rolled up, but you'd probably have an option of whatever closest to the docks would probably be the more shady of the pubs, and whatever gets closer to the city proper would be a little bit nicer.
Okay, I'll pick one closer to the city proper.
All right. Here you'd find the Tired Dagger, and I'm going to mark that on the map.
The Tired Dagger. Dagger doing work.
I know. This place is from the places Stormier's been eating for like the past few weeks. This place is fit for a king.
Nice.
Yeah,
I like
they're it's pretty small. There isn't any entertainment here. However, the patrons that are here all seem to know each other. Instead of deckhands, you see what would most likely be captains of sorts meeting with other merchants.
Okay, cool.
It's a very small, intimate place.
I'm gonna walk up to the tavern, I get like the bar, or whatever, and like order some, see what the menu is.
Okay. Give me a second to. The person serving behind the bar, you find it odd at first as they turn. They have a very pale complexion. Noting them as some other type of human, perhaps half-orc. However, they have a certain quality that is very attractive about them. Yeah, she greets you and asks, "What would you like?"
What you got?
You can smell fish cooking in the area, just throughout the bar or the tavern, and she'd say salted yellowtail.
Oh, I'll have a nice big
Plenty
plate
of
of that with some potatoes.
And she'll look you up and down and say, "There, big man, you got gold or rubies to pay for that?"
I do have some of each.
And she says, "Well, I suppose you pay for you pay for the food and you pay for the labor to cook it. Either be 2 rubies or 1 gold."
I'll give her 2 rubies.
Okay. Yeah. It's actually already, and a denizen of the bar brings out your food to you. As stated before, this is a pretty small place and it's mostly occupied. Any table you sat at would be within listening distance of someone.
Okay, can I like roll a perception check to see if I can like hear anything interesting?
If Stormier wants to.
We'll do it.
Oh, let me pull up Roll20. I have it tabbed out for Google Drive.
I rolled a 12.
Oh, that's beautiful, man. I'm grabbing a D10. Yeah, Stormier would overhear some mundane conversation. Apparently, 2 merchants at a nearby table just had some ore shipped in from Gwir. And they're talking about the complications they've been having getting it into the city.
Okay. Would I know anything about that ore?
I believe Lantier might have mentioned it to you. You can roll a history check.
18.
You know specifically, Lantier did tell you there was a specific type of ore that kept getting robbed and stolen from as people tried to transport it around the capital, or just transport it around the nation. Elena also did tell you she needed some metal, specific type that she was having trouble locating.
Do I remember the name of it?
I don't think.
Or do I
I
pick
don't
it up
know
from what they were saying?
They wouldn't specifically state the name, and I don't know if Lantier said it either. I don't think Elena thinks you guys are smart enough to share the name with you. She did tell you its description. It is white, and most people mistake it for stone.
Is that what they're talking about? Can I tell that from the 18 that I rolled?
Stormier would be able to gather its rarity.
Okay. What was this place called again? The Tired Dagger?
The Tired Dagger.
Okay. How close are those two guys sitting to me?
If this was an Applebee's, you'd be at like a booth, and they'd be at a table like maybe like one table away from you.
That's
okay.
Do they have a 2 for 20 deal?
They do. 2 rubies gets you 20 bites of yellowtail.
Well, I just ate a bunch of yellowtail then.
Stormier's a big man. 20 bites only gets you so much.
Okay, I think. Let's see. So they could like hear me if I try to get their attention.
Easily.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try to get their attention.
Okay. How do you do so?
I'm going to ask them if they would mind if I bought them a drink.
Hey, they're open to that. The ship, the riverboat captain specifically looks over and says, "I would love a free drink. It's wonderful."
Can I motion to get the waitress or waiter to come over?
Yeah, you're able to buy them a drink. It would cost you 2 silver.
All right.
And
I'll buy them a drink each.
okay. They raise the glasses to you. They seem receptive, but they really don't have much to say to you other than thanks.
All right, I'm gonna apologize and say I'm sorry, but I couldn't help but overhear that you were talking about a rare ore.
The merchant nods and says, "Valpair can only be mined in the northern mountains."
Spell that for me, please.
Valpear.
And it's in the northern mountains.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna ask him what's so rare about it.
He says, the earth fire that burns in the mountains. Sometimes the veins run deep into the mountain and can only be mined from the nearby mountains. It's extremely hard to work. But those smiths who can work it are renowned for their craft.
Okay, cool. So, like, one other question about it. Brennan?
What's the question?
I would say, what else were you gonna say?
Oh, I slipped my mind. There was a dog barking.
Oh, okay. The question I was going to ask them was that how much, like, say, how much is it per ounce or per pound or whatever the unit is?
He says to you, well, it normally isn't very valuable. It's more of an artisan's metal than anything else. However, with its recent scarcity, the price has been going up and up and up on it. Easily, a pound of this could go for 40 gold.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I thank you for sharing a drink with me. I'm going to return to my food.
Yeah, they look at you and say, if you ever need work, come by the docks. I'm always happy to employ a friendly face.
That's most gracious of you. I appreciate the offer.
They both raise their glasses to you and continue talking.
I'm going to head back over to my table and finish my food.
Okay. Stormy, you're going to be doing anything else here?
He's going to probably order another plate of food and another drink for himself, and that'll be it.
Okay. We're going to hop on to the next person on the die. 5. Hey, Dirge!
This is like that episode of Community where the dice roll and everything.
Except these timelines are pleasant. It's a very calm, gentle session.
You hope.
I hope before Dirge murders a brothel. All right, so if you want to start by giving us a small description about Dirge's background, then we can go on to what you find.
All right. So Dirge grew up in squalid surroundings. He was the illegitimate son of 2 human parents, and sort of grew up moving from one hut to another. When he was about 14 and strong enough to fend for himself, he ran away and joined a band of mercenaries called Merry Band, which for a time was employed by military as auxiliaries. Basically, they scooped up all the scum of society and threw weapons at them and sent them in front of the main forces to sort of slog everything down while they brought the actual troops in. So over time, gradually, they kind of ran out of scum to throw into their battles, so the Merry Band kind of broke up, and he was one of the last 9 members. And there was about 3 gold. Well, no, how much was it? Like 9 gold left that the last members fought over. He killed the rest. Took the 9 gold and a hammer and went off from there to do mercenary work. And that's sort of his backstory up to this point.
Okay. Yeah, so Dirge is looking for a brothel.
Yes, he is.
From around the Forge Ring, it's the Forge Ring is nearly in the center of the city proper. Dirge could go to the outer sphere, where there would be a plethora of establishments that would suit his taste.
He's looking for the very finest one in the capital.
Okay. The very finest one is going to be in the opposite direction, which would be in probably outside of Zenith Rise. Yeah, Dirge would be able to find not any brothels, but definitely places that offer company for those seeking it.
Okay. So like I said, he's going to look for what he's going to. I don't know if it's required an investigation check, but he's going to try to steer himself towards what would be considered the fine establishment, and take a moment to sort of scope it from the outside to see, what the deal is. Even if it's not like how many guards there are, what kind of people are coming and going.
Okay. And what are Dirge's general attractions? Like, what type of people would attract his fancy?
People that look they have a lot of money that they can get rid of at any one time.
Okay.
People that look that they don't necessarily want to be seen where they are.
Okay. Yeah, you'd be able to find two such establishments. The first of which is the Lucky Lass. It is right on the main path of Zenith Rise, on the path towards the palace. You notice though, as you're walking here, and getting closer and closer to the palace, security and moving soldiers tend to increase. If it's a place Dirge is trying to pull off a job, wouldn't be the best choice. There is another place that Dirge is able to hear about, just from easily passing conversation about people going into this place. Like, oh, where else do you guys like to go? The other place he'd hear about is the Golden Jackal, which is on the edge of the palace district.
So, which one is closest to the actual palace?
That would be the Lucky Lass.
And that's where he'll be going.
All right. Yeah.
And,
here, you notice councilmen and councilwomen both entering and leaving the place. It seems very busy.
Excellent. All right, he's going to try to head inside, and
right.
he's going to take note of. I don't think he's necessarily familiar with the status quo, but he's going to be looking and like reading everybody's, trying to get a gauge for the place, reading faces and all of that.
Okay. The first thing that happens though, as Dirge approaches this place, he's stopped by the guards. One of them puts their spears out in front of Dirge and says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! You lost there, friend?"
No.
He looks you up and down and says, "I don't think you're. I don't think you're at the right end."
I know where I am.
He
take gold here.
He nods and says, "Just know we're watching." And he moves his spear.
Watch all you like.
Oh, is that an invitation?
He's going to just shoulder past him or move past him.
You're inside. Inside, even despite the actually, yeah, you guys are in the middle of winter. Despite the midwinter, most people inside here are wearing very little. There are several different fires burning in the main room, whereas the primary attraction seems to be gambling, and a lot of the escorts are hanging near their patrons.
Okay. Does there seem to be a certain individual that has seems to be having a kind of a lucky evening as far as gambling goes?
You can roll me a perception check.
Yeah. Thinking old stuff. Let's see. I have advantage in that. Hey.
23. Dirge is able to notice. One particular individual. He's surrounded by three lucky lasses who seem to work at this place. They are hanging over him and listening to each of his words as he recounts the events of his day. In his hand, he has a cup and a set of dice in his other hand, and he is shaking them as he talks. In front of him is stacks and stacks of gold, maybe 6 or so.
Just money lying right out there in the open.
Well, it's directly in front of him on the table.
Okay. So, taking stock, with that perception check, would I be able to take a stock of, obviously what what his profession might be, anything like that?
You definitely be able to tell he is a councilman, as that seems to be the primary people served here. Just from how well he's dressed.
All right. So he's going to. He's not very good at being subtle, but he's going to. If there's any booths within a listening distance of him, he's going to settle on one of those, and just kind of recline, and just sort of close his eyes and listen.
As you get near him, he takes notice of you, and he points, shaking his dice in his hand, and says, "Hey! If you're here, no need to be a stranger. My poor friend, come gamble with me. First 2 hands are on me."
That's so. Well, I may take you up on that. Seat in front of him, and
Okay.
usually only gamble with my life, but feeling lucky.
There are 2 other people sitting at the table with him, and another woman with her legs crossed, sitting directly across from him. She is also loosely clad, appearing to work here, but having some more status over the other people hanging on the man's shoulders. He finishes shaking the die and puts them in the cup and turns the cup over on his hand. He says, "Do you have a set of gaming dice?"
He's gonna I lost mine in the river.
Obviously no intent to hide your lie, or?
He's just being snarky, but he's like, "No, I don't have any dice."
The man points to you and says, "You should have committed to the lie. You never know when you can get by with one." He looks at the woman sitting directly across from him at the table and says, "This won't do. Get my friend a cup." She claps her hands, and one of the lucky lasses brings you a cup and 3 dice.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Everybody else at the table begins shaking their cups, and then putting the dice inside of them and holding them upside down.
Now, is there any way? What would I roll to check and see if these dice were loaded? Kind of on the fly.
It would kind of be an insight check, kind of like, as they hit against your hand, just feeling the weight of them, and if Dirge would be smart enough to know if they were.
He's lived his life amongst bandits and thieves and cutthroats. He's seen more loaded die than unloaded ones at this point.
Yes, he has.
So let's just see what happens here.
Yeah. Dirge is distracted by the tits.
Okay. Well, he'll roll can roll a set.
All right, go ahead and roll a d20, and if you are proficient with the gaming set dice, you can add your proficiency bonus.
I have no idea if I am or not.
It would be your background that would give you a proficiency with the gaming set, as I don't think barbarians naturally get one. I think bards and rogues are the only ones who do. And then,
well, he's a criminal, so
if you are a if it gives you a proficiency, you do have to pick the one you're proficient with. There are dice, chess, and I think cards are the third one.
okay. Well, I did not pick any, so I'm going to say that I'm not. That's probably just an oversight on my part. Let me. Where's that D20? Come here.
Yeah, you get one. You're proficient with one type of gaming set and thieves' tools. So anytime you have to make a roll with either of those, then you can add your proficiency bonus.
Could be Richard. Well, dice would be more the game that he would play since he's not much for.
Doesn't require much thinking, just shaking and throwing.
No. So we'll see how this goes here. Well.
All right.
Oh shit.
I'll allow Dirge to make a I'll allow Dirge to make a perception check for free.
Perception check for free. All right. Come here, you. Okay. Not bad.
All right. So Dirge throws down his set of dice and pulls up the cup on the table, as does everyone else. It appears that both Dirge and the man who is paying his hand have lost. You beat the man who paid your hand as far as your roll goes. However, you guys both lost to another participant at the table.
Okay.
As you did roll a 6. He says, "Oh, you're going to have to do better than that. I don't need you bringing down my luck." He says, "Come on, a second hand." He moves about a third of a stack of his coins off his stack and into the center of the table. Everyone else antes up. Does Dirge throw again?
Yeah, he'll throw again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that d20, and additionally, you can roll me a perception check for free, as you are kind of looking around for people.
All right, let's see what we got. Oh, that's not going to work. I thought if I rolled 2d20, it'd be like advantage. You want me to re-roll that?
Yeah, just slash R d20, and then add 2 to it. A 4.
Yeah. And here's the perception. Wait, here we go. I'm not good at this. I'm good at the perception rolls, apparently. Jeez.
Yeah, so the man... actually, I need to roll his...
Squid head is hot.
All right, so you tied, and in the case of an ability score, ability check tie, it goes to the one with the higher bonus, I believe. So Dirge, as he throws down his dice onto the table, he pulls up his cup, and I imagine would be so frustrated by the results of his roll. But by some swing of a miracle, Dirge won.
How much did he win?
Dirge can go ahead and add 72 gold to his inventory.
Oh, you've seen it. Holy crap. Okay.
The man says, "My luck cannot spiral like this. Come on, another hand."
I can do one more, but so I haven't been completely honest. I didn't necessarily come here to gamble. I represent a group of individuals with a wide range and a wide range of skill sets that we're very proficient with. And we were.
The man says, "Speak as you throw." He is shaking the dice in his hand.
Okay, he'll do so.
It is a 20 gold ante.
20 gold. Okay. All right now. Oh, really? Son of a. All right. Let's see, perception. Okay.
Dirge actually loses that hand, but the man is listening to you.
So, you seem to be a man that knows his way around coin.
He nods and says, "These men here are fellow members of the oh my gosh."
The Ruby Alliance.
Yeah, words. The Currency Council.
So
I had to pull back up my tab. He's gesturing for you to continue as he's shaking the dice in his hand.
oh, decent roll. So I have a proposition for you. Like I said, I represent a group of individuals who are, to be quite frank with you, we're kind of dissatisfied with the status quo. And we were looking for like-minded individuals that might like to be agents of change, if you would.
He gestures for you to continue gambling, and he says, "The status quo's been quite good to me."
I can see that. But there's something old adage about there's always room for advancement.
He's going to look you over and say, "You don't seem like you've advanced very much. You actually look like you just got done narrowly missing a sword."
Well, as I said,
Say it again.
I prefer the high-risk, high-reward lifestyle. But,
As Dirge is talking, he notices this man where everybody else kind of pulls up their cup. This man is pushing his cup forward and pulling it up. Dirge does lose another hand.
Am I to take that as he's cheating?
From what Dirge can see, doesn't look like he's cheating, but he definitely knows his results before anyone else.
Let's see. Well, he's going to keep that to himself and kind of just. He wants to. Can you roll insight to see how this guy's? See if you can figure out what this guy's thinking. Or how amiable he is to what he's saying.
Yeah, you can.
Boo. All right.
Yeah, Dirge knows that this is a two-part game. One is the randomness of the die, and then the other is trying to bump the die on your hands to influence fate a little bit before you put it on the table. But Dirge doesn't see anything else going on with it.
Okay. So he's going to continue as he's rolling again. He's going to say, or would you say that you're perfectly happy with the state of the way things are?
He says, well, it's a shame that General has to face execution. Would rather preferred it not to be that way, but some people got to burn while others rise.
Hell of a way to put it.
A friend of yours get in trouble?
He gestures and says, we had a vote on that big military trial this week.
Is that the general that already died out of character?
Dirge wouldn't know if she's dead or not. Dirge would have been hearing just basically ramblings about her trial.
Well, I mean, it is a shame if a friend of yours would have were to meet a premature end, especially if you feel the sentencing was unwarranted.
Yeah, he'd probably look at you and say, oh, no, I voted for her execution. Just terrible that it had to happen.
Well, see, I used to be in the military one time. Generals come, generals go. But so you remember? Go ahead.
The man across the table from you interrupts you and says, "Hey, Kaz, are we gambling or what?" The man nods. Yes, he antes another 20 gold.
All right, I'll ante, and results of my roll are down there.
All right.
See so far.
Yeah. Same thing happens. And Kaz actually ends up winning this round too.
Well,
Dirge can keep talking, as you know. This does take probably like 20 seconds or so.
all right. I'm just keeping track of how much I'm winning and losing over here. So, since you're in a high-standing position, I feel inclined to maybe let you in on a little secret that may affect, certainly have an effect on currency.
He nods and says, "It is our job."
Ooh, finally. There's I've been in contact with a couple of individuals that are very dissatisfied with the status quo. whispers, maybe even a little bit of scheming. And as much as change, we might be willing to switch sides if we had an investor willing to make it worth our while.
As Dirge is talking and the dice go down for this round, sliding the cup off of his hand to put them on the table, you notice the cup goes forward in its normal fashion, and the flick of his ring finger ever so slightly as one of the dice hit the table. He ends up winning this round narrowly. Dirge is able to see that clearly cheating. No one else seems to notice it.
All right. He's going to sort of stare at his ring pan for a minute. And he's going to flick his eyes up, and he's going to say, "Ooh." He's going to say, "I had a feeling you knew how to." So I see my hunch that you know how to handle money is correct. Kind of a very low tone.
You're trying to intimidate him?
Yeah.
He'll say, I had to get a finger or two replaced at a temple when I was a younger lad. You just got to find the people that can lose a gold coin and not come breaking necks about it.
So I'm assuming you have some confidence in your friends at the table here.
He's talking in a very low voice to you.
He's going to speak a little bit louder. He's like, "Well, so are your friends here willing to lose a coin or two?"
They look up and say, "What is he talking about, Kaz?" He says, poor upstart slum boy. He's just delusional." He says, "Come on, gentlemen, we came here to enjoy ourselves." He looks at you and says, "If I was you, I would just continue gambling and continue talking. Otherwise, if you don't have more to say on the matter you're speaking, I think your time at the table is about done." He nods towards your pile of gold.
I heard speaking, and the rest of you froze out. I'm sorry.
Oh, he said, if you don't have more to continue saying on the matter you're speaking on, I suggest you either keep gambling or your time at the table is done. And he nods towards your pile of gold.
He's going to say, who's sitting straight beside him?
There is a woman, scantily clad. She's been watching this whole thing unfold. There are about 5 lasses here who work at the establishment. There are 2 councilmen who aren't Kaz, and then there's Kaz and you. There are 5 of you sitting at the table in total.
Is there a constable sitting right beside Dirge, is what I mean?
There is security just a call away.
Well, no, I'm not going to attack him. I'm just asking who's beside him because he wants to say something to him.
On one side of Dirge is the woman. On the other side of Dirge is Kaz.
He's going to look at his Kaz and says, "Your friend has a fidgety hand, don't you think?"
Kaz is the man who cheated. The one
sorry.
you've been talking to.
Well, he'll speak to the woman. Then he's like, "He's got a fidgety ring finger, don't he?"
She
Is that the one they replaced?
She giggles and says, "It's not my job to judge the patrons, only to ensure that they are entertained."
All right. How about one more hand before I leave?
He nods. Does Dirge have the money to ante up again?
Oh yeah. Okay, he's got the money.
All right.
He's gonna be like, why don't you? He's going to grab his. He's going to take his cup and he's going to look at the lady beside him. And he's like, why don't you do the honors for me, my dear?
The Kaz sitting next to you says, gentlemen, this is special. Our friend's final moment. What do you say, double or nothing?
Are you talking about a mere 40 gold? I thought you were a man of means.
He says, I'm happy to go triple.
Tell you what. How about we go 100 or 50?
He says, 100 per round. All of the people at the table look shocked at this statement. And he says, come on, men, we're celebrating today. Are we not great heroes of Ardor, councilmen elected by our people to serve the glory for Shia Ori? They each just kind of gasp and say, Kaz, you're insane. But move 100 gold forward on the table. Kaz does so too.
Okay, like I say, he's going to hand Dyson cup to the lady beside him. He's like, if you would, my dear.
And
he's going to keep an eye on his dice hand.
Are you looking at Kaz?
Yeah, his freaky finger, as it were.
Ever so slightly, you see the wink of Kaz's eye. Roll me an insight check.
Hey.
He clearly not only went along with your absurd ante, but talked everyone else into it, and is trying to communicate something to Dirge.
Me?
Yes, with that wink. However, the dice go down, and are shaken, put in the cup, turned over, and once again, well, wait, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Perception.
Once again, Dirge notices he takes the cup forward the very slight second before he reveals it, and Dirge catches the flick of his finger one more time. As his dice land on the table, he loses.
This dude using mage hand, isn't he?
No. It's the game is basically shake once for randomness into the cup on your hand, and then it's kind of like, do you want to stay or do you want to hit, not knowing what you have?
Right. Yeah.
And then it goes on the table, and that's the 2 steps of it.
Okay.
Right before it goes on the table, he's seeing his dice and adjusting them.
He's using mage hand to adjust them, though.
No, he's doing it with his finger. As they're rolling off his hand, he's tapping the die. Oh, let me roll her roll for you. She is proficient with gaming sets, and Dirge wins.
Hey, Lady Luck.
You could say that. Yeah. So with that, Dirge collects 300 gold.
Okay.
Kaz stands up and says, "By the bridge, that took some guts," and extends a hand towards you.
He's going to rise and like envelop his puny human hand in his. It's like, I enjoyed myself.
And he gestures exuberantly and says, "Well, if that was your final hand, it was a pleasure meeting you."
Pleasure meeting
And,
you. I have.
gestures for you to leave the table.
We may be meeting again soon. Gentlemen, good evening.
He says, "If the fates allow."
Oh. Okay. He is going to step out.
Okay. We'll come back to Dirge. We're gonna go next onto the list. 4. Look at that. It's not rolling the same. Malik. I had Malik down as looking for Stormir.
More or less.
All right. So go ahead and give us a brief backstory about what drove Malik to adventure, and then we will see what he finds in the city.
Well, I'll hit the high points. His father died, was given no honors as he might have expected for a soldier. And when he went to the religious leader of his village to basically just throw accusations about, they didn't take too kindly, and he left, bouncing around the other sister settlements of his village before leaving the continent entirely. So basically, he's on the road because he doesn't want to be killed by his religious brethren.
All right. And Malik is headed towards the docks. Would you like me to describe them again?
Yes.
All right. So this part of town, you guys came in up the river, took a crew of men rowing against the current to get here. However, this seems to be an area where cargo is loaded to be taken directly into the city proper. As such, there are many working hands on the river docks, and as such, many other establishments to suit them. This area that you're in specifically is near Maiden's Watch Bridge.
Okay. Do I see Stormir about anywhere?
You can roll me a perception check. I'll roll you a percentage die.
No, I can't.
Hit me with that -1. I mean, you see a lot of burly barbarian type people here. If there was any place a Stormir would be, it would be Ardor. Lots of warriors.
Okay.
Super
But
big.
none of them are the burly barbarian warrior that I'm looking for.
No.
All right. Okay.
But if you wanted another Stormir, you could probably find one.
Look, man, you can't just find a Stormir, okay? All right.
Perhaps. Go
Is there
ahead.
a dockmaster?
Dockmaster. Here, there would be. If you were on
Okay.
the other side of the docks, or the other side of the river, there would not be.
Okay. I'd like to wander over to the guy who looks like he's running this operation and ask him where adventurer types normally go for work.
All right. Yeah, you find a man. He says, Zizi, you go to any of the chantries. Anyone seeking Shia can find any manner of adventures at one of the chantries.
Okay. The chantries, that's like your religion here in these parts, right?
He tilts his head and says, "Religion, it is more than that. It is the path to glory."
Right. So is there any non-chantry related work?
Give me 1 second. Yeah, he would say, "Orion, are you a little Nagillian?"
No, I'm not from this continent.
He inspects you, squints his eyes, and says, "Galkin?
That's the one.
Oh, right here in front of me as I live and breathe. How are the seas?"
Wet, salty.
He says, I dream of sailing them someday. However, I make my money going between Guir and the capital."
Yeah, there was this one warm patch that was kind of weird, but other than that, pretty uneventful for the most part. I mean, there was this one storm everybody almost died. Was not great, but is what it is. And I'm glad to be off of Galkin for the most part. But yeah, so more or less just the chantry then?
He shakes his head and says, "Well, there are plenty of people inside the city, always looking for a couple hands to help out with the job. Says if you can't find work with the chantry, the Ruby Alliance is always passing out gold coins."
What do I roll to attempt to hide a grimace?
You can go ahead and roll a deception.
Okay, because there's no way that Malik isn't going to grimace at the mention of the Ruby Alliance.
I mean, they're not all bad people. You guys literally
19.
interacted with the worst of them. He's rolling insight on you, and hey, Malik gets away with that one.
Just
He says, if you got a fart, please just walk away. No, I'm kidding.
all right. Thank you for your time. And where it should be pretty obvious to make my way towards these chantries, then, eh?
He nods and says, "There's one dedicated to each of the four ascended, except Umiya. She has a temple that she mostly occupies over the bay on the southwest side of town, or southeast side of town. I'm sorry, I got everything backwards. You guys are on the west side of town, and the temple is on the southeast."
Hashtag not my DM.
I know, right?
Right. Overthrow the
Wait a
overlord.
Wait a minute. What did I thought the Ascended were kind of like your gods. What do you mean she occupies that one?
And he puts his hand forward and says, "My friend, this is what is the greatest about Ardor. Our heroes, we ascend beyond our mortalhood, our mortality. We become gods when we achieve the glory that our path leads to. The four ascended are gods who walk among us." And he says, "I don't know what they worship over there in Galkin, which Malik can roll me a insight on."
Okay. 15 somehow with a -1 in insight. I'm doing great.
That's
on wisdom
kind of
checks tonight.
racist.
I mean, I'll
That's the equivalent of saying, "I don't know what they worship over there in Africa, but
Yeah.
but anyways," he says, "I don't know what they worship over in
I
Galkin."
picked up on that.
To be fair, if you take the average African American and ask them what they worship over in Africa, I don't think
Yeah, but he says, "But a god you can see, you can touch, feel, and hear. It's greater than any of these fake religions the rest of the world offers."
Well, my my hometown's religion had to do with drinking poisoned rainwater off of a mountaintop, so anything's better than that, I'd wager.
Okay. Just with any amount of passive perception, because I assume Malik has like probably above an 8 at least.
It is. I think I'm proficient in perception, which puts me at an 11 with the -1.
Okay, Malik does notice this man has tattoos across his face.
I mean, that would be pretty hard to miss, even with a 1 in passive perception.
You'd be surprised.
I don't know, man. I'm pretty sure a blind dog could tell that.
I thought they were scars.
So, do they depict anything in particular, or what?
They are words.
Okay. Can I read the words, or?
Yeah, it says Shia Ori on his face.
Okay. Well, I'm not interested in that, so Malik is going to ignore that.
Okay.
But he's going to nod and say, thank you for your time. To see if I can meet this deity of yours.
He nods and says, if you're looking to convert, she preaches on first day.
Probably not, but you know, not every day you get a chance to meet a deity, right? Well, I mean, for me it isn't. For you, it probably is. I don't know.
Well,
But
he says
like,
it's a once every week type of
walk into this temple and find your god just chilling there.
thing.
Right? Like, how wild is that? Sup, God? How's it going?
He looks to Ben and
Oh my, you?
yeah, on first day. I'm kidding.
Oh my, you?
That
yeah,
one time Group 1 walked into the temple and died. Are you a god? I don't think so. Runs out
Always
with
Sunny.
axe, dies.
All the sunny music in the background starts playing.
The gang goes to the temple.
More like the gang tries to open a brothel outside the temple. The gang tries to extort a god.
No, listen to what we're saying. Look, you can maximize your profits and your profits, if you know what we're saying.
All right. So, does Storm or Malik want to do anything else at the docks?
No, he's pretty satisfied.
Okay. Is there anything else he wants to do, or you want to jump to the next person?
I guess I'll head over to the chantry because that's pretty much the only thing I got going. How are we looking on time?
We normally go to about 11 with this group, and we have Grax and Woody and Jeff left to go, so we're about halfway through.
Okay.
Hour and a half in with an hour and a half left.
All right. We can probably handle the chantry later then, if
Okay.
we've got time for it.
Rolling a die. We got Lantier, Grax, and Woody left. 6. Woody. All right. So when we left off last, I don't think you are a part of the group for what happened. The rest of the party went to Lantier's mother's house, and Lantier asked them to make a distraction, which they did by vandalizing the property.
That's a good distraction.
Yeah, and getting the attention of the guards. She had a, as she is a councilwoman, she had a royal guard assigned to protect her.
Mm-hmm.
And he held off most of the party. And then when the town guard came to basically collect the hooligans, everybody scattered like roaches.
I see.
Creating distractions in every which way.
Gotcha.
So
Roaches
right
on
now,
Ben's bed.
yeah. Right now the party's split up. So where would Woody have ran to or tried to do?
I wouldn't try to exit the town, actually. I wouldn't stay around people. I'm more comfortable around woods if I'm scared.
Okay, and the one thing the rest of the party does know is you guys came in at the docks. And that's pretty much the general area that You would think if there was a meeting place, it'd probably be there.
Okay. Yeah, I'm a druid of the coast too, so anywhere like coast-wise, I'm more comfortable. I guess I would run back to where the ship would. I guess that's familiar territory to me. So wherever the ship docked at is where I would run towards.
Okay. I'm gonna roll you some percentage die. Yeah, so heading towards those docks, you probably wouldn't see any of your party members initially.
Okay.
The ship that came upriver though isn't staying here, as it seems to have plans for Guir.
Is it already gone, or is it there?
It is loading up cargo. In the space that you guys occupied, they're replacing things that actually make money.
I would like to run up and ask if anyone has seen my companions. Just frantically, almost.
Okay. They'll note that they did see a barbarian come through, or rather not a barbarian, but the stocky tall fellow.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Which one of them
The stocky broad fellow. Which way did he go?
Yeah. They point back towards the inner city.
Did he mention he was going anywhere, or did you just walk that way?
They shake their heads and say, actually didn't talk to anyone. Came, looked around, didn't seem satisfied, and left.
That sounds like Grax, since he didn't say a word. I'll go find him then, I guess. Back towards the inner city I go.
Okay.
I want to.
Oh, go ahead.
I just kind of want to like, what's around me as I go into the inner city.
So you're on the west side of town. The way this town works is they're kind of spheres of influence.
Yeah.
The outer districts the outer spheres are the are kind of the poorer neighborhoods, and then there is the city proper that lines the with around the Palace District, and then there's the Palace District in the middle of the town, and all of this is interconnected through bridges going over the bay and rivers that the town's built into.
Okay. I want to look around and see if I see any wood elves that are attractive looking.
Oof, you are in the wrong place for that. It's hard to notice any wood elves specifically, especially with the area you're in. There are some foreigners here. However, most of them look like low importance workers. Maybe ever so often the casual adventurer.
Okay. The casual adventurer. I want to approach one of them and say, I need your assistance and I'm willing to pay.
They say, give me a quest.
Give me a quest.
No, I'm kidding.
God.
Yeah, at the mention of gold,
Hey, give me a quest.
yeah, at the mention of gold, you're able to find two people who approach you. One that you approach, and one that sees you offering money for something and walks up to you.
It's a simple search quest. I need you. It's a fetch quest. I need you to fetch the man who I described to you and bring him back to me.
One of them looks and says, "Ooh, kidnapping?"
No, not kidnapping. More, help me find this man. I just want you to find him and tell him that I'm looking for him, and he should come.
Okay. Yeah, they nod and say, "Who is this man?"
I would like to describe Stormir to them.
Okay.
Big guy, kind of stocky, carries around a big old axe-looking thing. Probably an axe. Kind of looks like an axe. Probably is an axe. And probably has a suntan, but like a really, really like pale area around his neck because he wore a collar for a long time.
Okay. They nod as you go into the description, and even more so than getting paid for this, they get into Woody's conversation, and a brown-haired woman, she asked, "Wait, why was he wearing a collar?"
There are reasons, there are things that we do, me and him, that he wouldn't want revealed to the public.
Oh,
So,
You know, I'm not even going to make you roll a deception for that because they have no reason to question you.
you
So
cheeky shithead.
that's more of a private time for he and I.
They asked, wait, the man standing there and says, "Wait, was he your lover?"
I wouldn't call it lover exactly.
Sex slave.
You could use that term. He's more of a I don't know. I owned him for a while. From time to time, I still own him. I just need to find him.
You are the worst.
Yeah, they nod and say, "All right, how much does the job pay?"
We'll play this like the waiter game. The longer you take, the less tip you get. So
as you say that, the young man you're talking to dashes off.
bye. Okay, so we start with 50 gold. There's two of them, right? So there's still somebody talking
there's
to
one.
me.
There's one lady talking to you. She is twirling a finger through her hair.
We start with 50 gold, and for each hour that passes, you lose 2 gold.
She says, "Can I touch your ear?"
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she does so.
Cool. It feels good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
She seems less interested in your quests, but shrugs and says, "Where can I find you if I do find him?"
I'm gonna go. Is there like an inn or a tavern nearby?
There are multiple ones in this area. And as I described to Ben earlier, generally the closer Woody gets to the Palace District, and the deeper into the city proper he gets, the better they'll get. And the ones closer to the docks and the edge of the city proper will be pretty much lower quality.
I'd like to cross the first bridge towards the Palace District and go to the first tavern I see.
Oof, towards the Palace District.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, by the time you get there, you'd be running into Dirge at the Lucky Lass. Or
Yes.
probably not yet, but that's generally the direction you're heading to.
Okay. That's fine. I tell them I'll be waiting there.
Okay. We're gonna come back to Woody. Because it's a little bit of travel time. It is a really big city.
Okay.
And that leaves us with Lantier and Grax. So I'm gonna roll an evens or odds check. I didn't decide which one was which before I rolled the die. I just rolled. So evens Lantier, odds Grax. 3. We're going to Lumigrax. All right. So give us a brief. Yeah, give us a brief description of Lumigrax's background. What led him to adventure, and then we will get started. I've got Grax window shopping.
Well, what happened was, I don't remember.
You were one of the people, Taylor. What I have written down for Grax was that he did have a brother who was him and his brother were kidnapped by a cult to be sacrificed, as that's what people generally are, not people, but what some of the more superstitious people tend to do with fire spawn in this world is they think they're divine omens and sacrifice them to their gods. So as a child, I have it down that Grax and his brother were kidnapped. Brother sacrificed to a cult, and Grax fought his way out before eventually leaving his family and finding employment in the service of Gibson Bredrick, which he was assigned to watch one of Gibson's Soul Sarai, who was Kana, and then Kana left him. Did I get anything wrong or jog any of your memory?
That sounds right.
All right. So yeah, you told me Grax wanted to go window shopping.
Uh-huh.
I think Grax is the poorest member of the party right now.
That's why he's only looking.
All right, what's he looking for? You guys, Lantier's mom did live in the Forge Ring, so there are many blacksmiths in this area, as smithing's kind of an art of this nation, displaying their goods. Otherwise, you can search elsewhere through the city proper. You could probably, with a high enough investigation check, pretty much find whatever you're looking for here. Even some lesser than reputable things.
Oh boy. I don't think I find anything.
Well, what is Grax looking for?
Windows.
Oh, well, you do find a good few of those. Most windows have to be made with panes, as the technology to make huge, big sheets of windows doesn't exist yet. But yeah, you'd be able to find any shop that you could walk up and look into. Most notably, the ones that are going to have windows are going to be like an alchemist shop, like some type of potion vendor, as people who already have a means to blow glass or have an excess of it.
Let me look at my gold.
5.
It says I have 107 gold pieces.
It says you have 107. I would also like you to note, this was kind of a mistake on my part that I've been doing for 5th edition. A potion is listed in the DMG as a magical item, a potion of healing, and the DMG lists the cheapest magical item at 500 gold. The player's handbook actually lists a potion of healing in the adventurer's gear for 50 gold pieces. So potions will not cost you an arm and a leg.
I will look for potion.
Okay. Headed into an alchemy shop. I don't have any specifically rolled up. Oh snap! I do, from group 2. Sorry about that. Yeah, you'd be able to find one, especially in this area. Yeah, getting to the alchemy shop. It's called the Naked Flask. And inside, there aren't any shelves of items on display. There's only a man with a pestle and mortar.
Is he naked?
No, he is not. He is sitting at a table near the window, grinding some herbs. He does have a counter on the other side of the shop. There are ingredients thrown about on it. You are the only one in here with him. He notices you come in and says, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't expecting any customers today. I don't have a hearth or anything to keep warm." He's dressed in, of course, winter clothing.
Yeah, I think I had bought winter clothing, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody was able to get a set from the pilgrims.
Yeah. I grunt. And point towards the potions.
All right. There are ingredients on its counter. He says, "Are you a member of the Chantry?" Most of your kind serve the Forest Ended.
What do you mean, your kind?
Yeah, what?
There is, and this is just stuff Grax would know. There is a religion called the Forest Ended. The ones, them coming back from the dead reignited the earth fires that Grax's people walk out of. Most of the time, fire spawn are serve at like at the temples as guardians and guards, knights, and all the other such.
Okay.
He was asking if you were a member of a temple.
I'm gonna say adventurer.
He nods and says, "Ah, the life of Shia."
He grunts.
And says, "Well, what are you looking for? I actually don't have anything prepared just yet, other than a few healing potions, another few potions of climbing."
Grax nods vigorously when he says healing potions.
He's gonna roll an insight. Yeah, he's gonna go behind the counter and just, hey, is he getting warmer? No, I'm kidding. Yeah, he tilts his head and says, "Are you? Is there an affliction of the tongue you have?"
No. I just don't like to talk.
He says, "I understand, as most of your kind do." He gets up and goes behind the counter and leans over. You hear vials bumping against each other. As he's down there, he says, "I think one of the most interesting thing about the fire spawn is where they come from. Some are born, but the ones that walk out of the fire, boy, do they have a hard life." He comes back up and places a potion on the table in front of Grax and says, "So, how about you? Were you spawned or born?"
I think I was born.
It is your character, Taylor. You can tell me, because I don't think we've ever established it. All right. Says, "Oh, really? And you live in Ardor?"
Sure.
Does Grax?
I don't
He
know.
asked if you lived in the capital.
In the capital?
Yeah.
What family did I choose to?
Oh, the family. That's what I was saying. The family you chose lives far out east of the capital.
Okay, then no.
Yeah. So the potion he put on the table, it's clear at first, but when he shakes it, the liquid inside glimmers a very potent red before it finally settles and goes back to being clear. He says, 1 potion of healing, 50 gold.
You ain't got that kind of money.
Hand over 50 gold.
Wow, a player paying full price for an item without trying to haggle? What?
You what?
I mean, I don't know why I'm writing down his inventory. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, you can take 50 gold out of Grax's inventory. Congratulations, you participated in a business transaction.
Yes.
He leans over the counter and says, so you got any stories? Brings you to the capital.
Grex grunts and then walks away.
You know, the destruction of your government and all that stuff. He returns the grunt going, ugh. Yeah, Grax is out of the shop. Does Grax want to go anyplace else?
He wants to get some food.
Okay. Yeah, there are plenty of places you can do that in the city proper.
He wants to go to the Applebee's for the 220.
Okay. Yeah, the nearest one's on Zelda Road, so yeah. No, yeah, Grax is able to actually roll me an investigation check.
A 5.
5?
Uh-huh.
I mean, Grax would be better off at trying to follow his nose, except that's not really doable here, as it mostly smells like smoke and metal. Trying to communicate through nobody's able to really point you in a direction to what you want. Yeah, I imagine you could point to your stomach, it's like, and they're like, what, you need a healer? Yeah, the stomach, Grax have tummy ache.
Grax wants food. Grax wants 2 for 20.
Yeah, I mean, you can wander around the area, and I mean, you'd probably stumble into someplace. It'd be completely random, though. You want me to roll you a die?
Yeah, roll me a die.
All right, I'm gonna roll you a percentage die.
I love percentages.
All right, I'm making a table right now. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Grax is able to roam around. He isn't able to find a place serving food. However, his nose does bring him to an orphanage. There is plenty of food being baked inside.
Close enough.
An orphanage?
An orphanage.
Do I see Kana?
Actually, no, you don't. If Grax goes inside, the woman running the orphanage is exceptionally hideous. However, the kids seem to like her as they're running around and playing with her.
Exceptionally hideous. Yeah. Grax is gonna think about this, then walk away.
Grax doesn't deal with anybody less than a 7.
Exactly.
Got that Brandon Kennedy going on. All right. So is Grax just going to choose to starve, or he's going to try and sniff out someplace else?
I'm gonna sniff out someplace else.
Okay. You want to roll me another investigation check? All right. Grax is not having a good time, man. I imagine he'd probably get a few steps from the orphanage before he probably notices he's being tailed.
Grax looks at his tail.
It is yours. It is very tiny.
That's not what your mom said last night.
No, oh no! What are you doing with your tail? All right. What does Grax want to do? He can pick a direction and head in it.
Let me see. Can I do perception on who's telling me?
Grax has no idea where he's going. Not a single clue. He's just wandering aimlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But he notices wherever he wanders, these people have been wandering too behind him for maybe the past 15 or so minutes. Can't really make out much about them, but he knows that, wait, I'm lost. They can't be as lost as I am, or they can't be this randomly lost too. Maybe they're following me, is what Grax is able to put together.
Grax is...
Kill them.
Well, luckily he just bought a healing potion.
I don't know where I am in the city.
You can still see the forge ring. Like, you can see the smoke from it. It's not hard to pinpoint where you are. You don't know what you're looking for.
Okay.
You can get back to the points that you know, but other than that, you're just kind of wandering through the fog.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go back to a familiar place if I think that somebody's following me.
Okay. You know where Lantier's mom's house is in the forge ring. Obviously, you can see the forge ring because of the smoke. And you know where the docks are from when you got into town.
I'll head in the general direction of the docks.
Okay. So heading towards the docks from where you are leads you towards Maiden's Watch Bridge. Oh wow. As you start turning through some of the streets towards the docks, these people pick up pace. At one point, they start sprinting after Grax.
Start sprinting.
Probably, yeah, near an alley.
How many are there?
There are two of them.
Grax is gonna turn around and look at them.
Okay. One has a dagger drawn, and the other one has chains.
Okay.
They seem to have intent in their eyes as they dash towards you.
How far away are they?
At this point, maybe 15 feet.
And how far away from the docks am I?
You're still a sizable distance from the docks. Oh, hey, they're people looking for Stormier. Yeah, you're still a sizable distance away from the docks. You have to get to you have to not cross this bridge to the outer sphere, but you have to get to the other side of this bridge. oh man, I forgot the word, perpendicularly, if that makes sense. Hold on, I'm gonna draw it out for you.
Be a chicken, cross the road.
That's black. Why is that drawing in black? I don't want to draw black on black. There we go. So there's the bridge. And the bridge is going in that direction. Grax would be like coming down this alleyway or so. And the docks would be somewhere down over here, if all of that makes sense. So you'd be like making your final turn towards like the main road, and that's when they make their move.
Okay. And there's only 2 following me?
There are only 2 following you.
And they're not guards?
Not from what Grax can see.
Okay.
Does Grax want to roll initiative, or does he want to turn and run?
I'm going to roll initiative.
All right. They're going to roll initiative against you, man. Oh, cool. That's fine. Whatever.
Huh.
I don't care. Go ahead and give me a roll, and we'll do this as cinematic combat.
Cinematic combat?
Yes, as it's only you and them, they would both act when you don't act.
Okay. My initiative was 16.
Okay. Yeah, you won initiative. There is a man sprinting with chains in his hands towards you. There's another one tossing his dagger up and down at the entrance to the alleyway.
Okay. And they're both in front of me?
Yes.
I'm going to do my lightning breath. It's a, what was it, 2d6?
Okay. And it's a reflex save against your constitution, I believe.
I don't know.
Taylor, you got to read your feats, man. It's like 8 plus your con modifier plus your proficiency bonus, I believe. What's Grax's con?
My constitution?
Yeah.
The modifier?
Yes.
Constitution modifier is 3.
Okay, yep, the DC is equal to 8 plus your con plus your proficiency bonus, so it's going to be 5 plus 8, 13. They are making the roll, and they both fail. Roll me that 2d6.
Was it dash roll 2d6?
Yes. All right, 7 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they both take the hit of lightning, and they agree it's rather unpleasant.
As it should.
All right, it is their turn. The one gets closest with the chains and takes an attack action at you, and uses one of his attacks to make a grapple check. Give me an opposed athletics roll.
Athletics check.
Yes, or you can roll acrobatics. I believe Grax is probably stronger. Yeah, he grapples Grax. Your speed becomes 0. You are not incapacitated. You are just stuck there. He puts a hand on your shoulder, planting you in place, and with his other hand, you see him whirling his the chains, getting ready to wind it about you. The other man flourishes his dagger, catches it in hand, and gets ready to throw it at you, and say, "Just hold still until we get back. Just hold still until we get back to the rest." He readies an action. It is Grax's turn. You are currently suffering from the grapple action, or grapple condition.
Uh-huh.
It is in the back of the player's handbook on page 290. A grappled creature's speed becomes 0. It can't benefit from any bonus to speed. The condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if the effect removes the grappler from the reach of the grappler or grappling effect, such as when a creature is hurled by Thunderwave. You can escape your action by taking, I believe you roll another opposed grapple check. Let's see. Man, I'm going to be so happy when D&D Beyond comes by, or comes out, and you can just search on the app grapple. Believe it or not, this edition is the simplest grappling has ever been. Escaping a grapple. Grappled creature can use its action to escape. To do so, it must succeed on a strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics check contested by your strength. You don't have to escape if you don't want to.
But I can't attack them.
I mean, he hasn't bound your arms. He's bound you in place.
Okay, so I can attack him with my greatsword?
Yes. It does seem that he does have the intentions of incapacitating you or capturing you. But yeah, you can take an attack with your greatsword at him.
Okay.
Roll it with disadvantage though, as you probably won't be able to swing it efficiently.
But if I do the grapple check, I can't do anything else?
Yeah, that is your action. You could try and punch him with your fists. That would not be at disadvantage.
Why would that not be a disadvantage, but the sword is?
Well, the greatsword's like, what, 5 feet long? And, he's like here on your shoulders. You can't really get a swing at him with it. At most, you'd be able to move it in like a damaging way, but you wouldn't be able to get the full swing of the weapon needed to wield it. As punching him, if you guys are like this grappled, you just rear back your fist and sock him one in the face.
Okay.
You can wield your fists efficiently in this like really small quarters, but this is like disc length of ultimate frisbee of movability of space.
What damage output am I looking at?
If your greatsword hits, it deals damage. That's it. You'd be looking at your normal. Oh, your punch. If you have the Tavern Brawler, 1d4 plus your strength modifier. If you don't, 1 plus your strength modifier.
I'm gonna try the greatsword.
That belief, man. Yeah, that would actually hit his armor or his AC.
All right.
You trigger the other one's readied action, and he throws the dagger at Grax. He, however, does not hit Grax.
Yes.
What's Grax's AC? It's like 16, right?
Yeah, 16.
Okay, yeah, he does not hit. All right, yeah, you deal 10 damage to this guy. As you do, you bloody him.
One of those rolls was a 1.
Oh yeah, you can re-roll it. You do have that that fighting style with your weapon.
D6.
Yes. You got to
One.
keep that one. Yes, so you deal 10 damage to him and you bloody him. On his turn, he lets go of the grapple, runs his hand across his face and sees the blood, then takes the disengage action and runs out of the alley and says, "We'll have to find another." The man at the back of the alley points to Grax and then takes off with his companion. Grax is successful in combat. There's a dagger on the floor.
I pick it up.
Yeah, they learned, hey, maybe this guy wasn't easy pickings being on his own.
Yeah. Don't fuck with me, guys.
As mostly, low-level cultists aren't willing to die just out in the middle of the street for no reason. Where's Grax want to head from here? Give me a direction and then we're jumping to land here.
To a brothel.
To a brothel? The nearest one or a nice one?
Nice one.
Okay. All right. We are going to jump over to Lantier. Go ahead and give us a brief description about why Lantier became an adventurer. And then I have Lantier marked down as headed towards the docks.
Because I hate my parents, I hate the bourgeoisie, I hate everybody that's a nobleman, I hate the councilman, I hate this country. I'm going to tear it all down.
All right.
Get it? Preach.
Stay woke.
So,
Okay.
I have decided that I'm going to take this stack of papers that are addressed to the other councilmen and deliver them to said councilman.
Okay, they are half written.
Cool. Still going to deliver them.
Okay. The person mentioned in the letters is a fellow member of the Ethics Council.
Uh-huh.
His name is Typhus Seasons.
Okay. I go to his house.
Okay, roll me an investigation check.
Oh, the implications.
Do 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 do. Do 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 do.
Somebody's happy.
It's probably something Lantier's trained in. There you go. You're able to track down Typhus. He actually doesn't live in the capital, but he's currently staying at a an estate set up for members of the Ethics Council. And you are able to find him there at that embassy.
Okay. Good. So
the man in front of you has long black hair. As when you're led to him, he's inside of his office, most likely sitting down reading. As you're led into the room, he stands up and looks at the servant who brought you there, and she bows and says, "Messenger, sir." He nods and extends his hand.
I shake his hand. Yes, I am from. I'm a messenger from Polina Kiev. There was recently today. There was actually a disturbance outside of her building, and she asked me to deliver these notes and letters post haste as quickly as I could before they fell into the wrong hands.
Roll me a deception check.
I don't think he's very deceived.
he inspects you and says, "It's not like that woman to be impulsive about anything. She is very calculated in her actions." He looks you over again and says, "And you say she sent you,
Yes.
bearing letters?"
Yes.
He says, "Very well. Let me see them."
I hand them over.
He looks over the letters and says, "And all of these are not finished."
Yes, she was in the middle of writing them when the disturbance occurred.
He nods and says, "All right, well, you can consider them delivered."
She requested that you meet with her as soon as possible so she could go over the remaining information that was not put in the letters.
He nods and says, "I shall contact her via more official channels."
Well, I can assure you, sir, I'm one of the most official channels that you'll get. I mean, I work for the betterment of this government. I mean,
He says, "Boy, I'm trained to spot a lie."
pocket sand.
Does Lantier have sand?
No.
Okay.
Pocket Sam.
Yeah. He says, "If that's all, I will allow you to leave. You tried. You failed, but I don't understand what you're playing at here."
Well then, can you at least give me just a tiny bit of information for my efforts? Because I did deliver them after all. I could have sold them.
He nods and says, I assume you stole them."
I mean, maybe. Doesn't matter. Who are her political rivals?
Um, See, I'm just wondering if he'd trust you here.
That's totally up to him. I'm a dashing, handsome young man.
Yeah, he's gonna roll an insight check on you.
I could use charm person on him.
I mean, that is something you can try and do.
Let me see what the role is for charm person.
But I mean, keep in mind, if you're not a sorcerer and it has, verbal and somatic components, he'll see you doing it.
I mean, he can see me all he wants. It still only takes one action. He can't stop it unless he's got a prepared action to stop it.
Yeah.
Let me see what the wisdom saving throw. It'd be a wisdom saving throw, but let me see how high that saving throw would be. Because if it's not really if he could probably make it super easy, I'm just not going to worry about it.
Yeah, most of the time at this level, it's going to be somewhere between like 13 and 15.
It'd be a 15.
That's decently high.
Yeah, I'll try and use charm person.
Yeah, he sees you casting the spell, and you feel it go off, but he shrugs off the effects of the magic. And he shakes his head and says, "I think it's time you leave."
Well, I think so too. think our business is done.
He nods and says, very well then, I'll have the servant see you out. He calls for them. The door opens. Two come into the room. He explains the situation and that you're to be escorted out and not arrested.
Okay. As I leave, I just turn my head and say, when you do see her again, just tell her that Lantir Keeve is in town.
He'll tilt his head at that and say, family member. Does Lantir leave?
She'll tell you, I'm sure. But yes, I do leave.
Okay. Does Lantir want to do anything else? As that probably did take up about a good hour to get here, but
is that
since
with
it was,
me having half the travel time?
Oh no, not with half the travel time. Yeah, that it'd probably be like 30 minutes. Yeah, but since it was so short, is there anything else Lantir is looking to take care of?
Yeah, I'm gonna go to that shady brothel that what's his face is in, and start spreading rumors that Paulina Keeve has a bastard half-elf son.
Are they rumors?
Well, they would be if I started spreading them.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're more like spreading truths.
I mean, I'm spreading truths, but they're truths that, like, I'm spreading in the style of rumors.
Okay. Yeah. You head to the nice brothel or the one.
The nice one.
Okay.
Actually, no. Which? Let's see. I don't want the one where the councilmen go. I want the brothel where the people who work for the councilmen go.
Yeah, that would probably be one over in where are my stupid notes? Here we go. That would probably be one over in the Maiden's Watch district, which would be still on the edge of the Palace district. But it wouldn't be the Golden Jackal or the Lucky Lass. This would be probably a full-out brothel. Go in there and you can smell just like the sex of the atmosphere.
Smells good. Anyways, yeah, no, that's where I start spreading the rumor.
Okay. We're going to we're gonna name it the Singing Falcon.
All right.
The falcon is your penis.
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
I don't run into him heading back, do I?
No, you don't. He's at a different place. You want to roll me a flat charisma check?
I'm probably gonna have to. The way I'm gonna have to probably do this is like buy me a prostitute and start there.
Okay, that would be one way to go about it.
Talk to her about how there's rumor that she has a bastard son because prostitutes don't keep their mouths shut. That's a terrible charisma check. Who's got inspiration?
So
No, they don't.
yeah, so you'd
I don't
probably
think we'd be able to give you inspiration separated as we are.
Oh, fair enough.
you'd walk into this place, order your prostitute, which I will roll her price, probably not very much at all. Yeah, you're able to find a pretty decent one for about 8 gold. And you start doing the deed with her, and then you whisper into her ear, and she says, It's a horrible thing to say. She pulls back from you and says, don't you want to talk about something else while we do this?
Sure, why not? Yeah.
Sure.
What are you talking
Well, I mean, I imagine it's like you're getting into the mood and it's like, yeah, that woman has an illegitimate son. Yeah, screw her. Like, wait, hold up. Can we just like have sex and just like not talk?
No, yeah, sure.
All right. Lantir is able to have a pretty decent time there. I'll roll her a performance check. Oh, Lantir has a really good time. She got a 21 on her performance check.
Oh, let me roll my performance check. What kind of check is that? Just like an actual perform check?
Yeah, perform. I mean, she's performing her job.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Lantir starts off a little flaccid because his mom's on his mind, but he comes around.
Wow.
I mean, it's not false. I mean, it turns up.
Oh man. Well, I was
Before or after he stopped thinking about his mom?
I was gonna try and discredit her, but I guess not anymore.
Yeah, I mean, afterwards you could probably have a conversation with this with this particular sex worker. We'll use a proper term for her. Yeah, and I mean, Lanter could easily bring it up in casual conversation, as like as an example. I imagine he'd be there just like, "Hey, I'm sorry about that. It just gets me real mad when people are like hypocrites or something."
Yeah. Fair enough.
Do you want to try another charisma check?
Sure, we'll see just how bad my rolling can keep going tonight.
I will let you use a skill if you can convince me how you use that skill to make the check. I don't see what skill it would be in my mind.
The only one I can think of probably would be persuasion to try and convince her that it's true, but other than that, I think flat charisma's fine.
Okay, you can go with either.
I'll do flat charisma because that persuasion is the one that's the biggest.
All right. After Lantir's performance in the bed, she says, "Oh, poor honey, I sympathize." And it seems his words go to heart.
I'm not telling her that I'm her bastard child. I'm just saying that she has a bastard child with an elf, no less.
Yeah. Or rather, she'd probably instead empathize with your hate of hypocrisy. Most likely stating something about how people look down on whores, but or rather sex workers. It is a noble and old profession, perhaps the noblest and oldest of them.
Indeed it is. And for that, I do thank you.
All right.
I've never talked down to a prostitute before, and it won't start now. And I tip her like extra money. I don't know.
Okay. Well,
Another-
she costed 8 gold. So.
Well, I'll round it out to an even 10.
Hey, what is this map?
You just now noticed?
I've been looking down. I have 3 D&D books open in front of me. I got the DMG, the Monster Manual, and the Player's Handbook, and then a whole clipboard of notes, and then one other screen of Google Drive notes. And I look over, and there's just dicks galore, Cthulhu, angry floating faces. It's everywhere. All right, so give me a direction that Lantir heads, and then we're going to start wrapping up tonight's session.
I'm heading back to the docks. Actually, no, I'm heading back to the forgery. I'm not done with this woman yet.
Okay. We're going to jump over to Dirge. Dirge is able to leave the tavern, but he walks for maybe about 5 minutes before he notices footsteps behind him. Following him is the councilman Kaz, and he's rubbing his hands and says, "Look, man, I appreciate all the honesty in there and seeing what you did for them, but they didn't need that gold. We had a pretty good thing going on, and I made sure that you won that last hand."
He won't want that money, man.
Yeah, he says, "Go ahead and give me my half of the cut, and we can be on our way."
Are you senile, boy?
Can I just go ahead and, like, out of game say that murdering a council member is probably not the best idea?
But murder.
I know. We can do this at another point, but not when we're level 4.
But murder.
But gold.
Yeah, I mean, Dirge can roll me an insight if he wants. There was that moment that Dirge was kind of having trouble putting together that it seemed that Kaz was tipping the scales in your favor.
Oh, well, mhm.
Yeah, I mean, probably on a 12 would be all it takes. That, yeah, that seemed to go way too well.
Now, well, no, he's still laughing. I said, no, I don't recall us making any such agreement. You forget, I'm just a dumb half orc.
Yeah, he says, but yes, you wanted to take advantage of those in charge, and we did that.
Oh, no. See, you're thinking way too small. Way too small. You see, I'm not looking to take a few measly gold pieces off a couple of rich councilmen. No. We're turning this thing on its head.
He rubs his hands and says, I know quite a few good gambling dens in the city. We could run this scam there perhaps tenfold today.
No. Still too small. Look, when I say we're going to turn it on its head, I mean all of it. Everything. We're redrawing the map.
He's going to scratch his head and say, how about we just start with the 150 gold?
150 gold. How about 150,000 gold? How about $1 million? How's that sound?
He's going to say
$1 million gold.
I mean, Dirge is a barbarian.
This is
Yeah, he's going to say it's far too lofty. Too many people would be looking for us.
Not if they were behind us.
And he's going to say, and you have the means to do this?
I might. It depends on who's asking
And
and why.
He says, well, my vote can be bought on occasion.
See, I don't take you for a man that is really all that interested in just 150 gold pieces.
He laughs and says, it adds up.
I'm sure it does. So why not consider this an investment?
He extends his hand and says, likewise.
So are you saying that we can count on your support later?
He says, have I ever misled you before?
Yes. You have, actually.
And he says, and it worked out for you in the end.
Mm. Tell you what. How about you're a man of the court? Surely you have a few people that you would prefer to step out of the way. Problematic individuals.
He nods and says, there's always a use to keep an assassin in one's pocket.
Just tell me a name.
And he says, none right now.
Nobody at all.
He says, when the time comes, I'd rather have it for more pressing matters. Actually, I'm sorry, I had to write something down.
What's that? Actually, what now?
I had to write something down that I had forgot about.
Let me see here. So, I can't.
Yeah, he would say he'd stop and start thinking and say, so you really think you can rally everyone behind you and make 1 million gold?
To start.
And you'd kill anyone I point you at?
You ever heard of the Merry Band before?
He shakes his. Well, I'll roll him a history check if he gets a 20. No, he shakes his hand.
Yeah. Shame. Yes, I'm good at making people disappear, as it were. Kind of my chosen profession.
He laughs and says, keep the 100 gold, or keep the 150 gold. You never saw me, and if you can get rid of Lady Anadelia Surreal, we don't ever have to talk again. I'll just know you'll have my vote if you send word.
Okay, he's gonna reach into one of his side pockets and hand him a small piece of leather with a symbol on it.
Okay. He'd accept it, and he'd probably walk away laughing at this point.
All right, Dirge is just going to sort of smirk and start heading back towards the docks.
Okay. Yeah, so Dirge would probably run into Woody at this point, as Woody was headed towards that the Lucky Lass.
The lucky lass.
Lucky lad.
Yeah, you find a big old barbarian dude. Not the barbarian dude you were looking for.
Hey,
but
you.
certainly one.
Hello.
Hello.
You.
So we all kind of scattered, and we kind of need to meet back up.
Yes,
right?
I have some good news.
What news do you have?
We are employed, and I have gold.
I like both of those news.
Woody has been feeding you for the past couple days. So,
yeah, you guys have been eating good berries.
Yeah, Woody has always been employed. He's been the most employed.
They're just going to put his hand on his shoulder. Like, I'd like to taste your good berries.
You can have my good berries anytime you want them.
Go ahead.
Let's go into the inn here and this place here, and let's discuss it a little bit more in depth, if you know what I mean.
My good berries anytime.
Let's discuss this employment.
Oh, where's the rest of our merry band, as it were?
Well, I've got a couple. Well, actually, it's just one person now. They're looking for Stormir, and I told them to bring him here. So I guess we could wait here for him. The rest of them, I have no idea about.
We will.
But
Well, let me buy you a drink. We're about to suit up.
sure, that'll work. I'll take water though.
No,
Alright.
I'm not
So
a
you
drinker.
guys wait at the Lucky Lass?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna jump over to Grax. Grax was headed towards the docks.
I was headed towards a brothel.
Oh, you were headed towards a brothel. Were you headed towards the nearest one or the Lucky Lass? I thought you were headed towards the
Well, I was headed
Oh
towards
no.
then I
Okay.
off and was like, let's go have sex.
Okay, where which brothel were you heading towards?
A fancy one.
A fancy one? Okay. That would probably put you moving towards the Palace District. That was my bad then. You still get jumped in an alleyway, but not
Who,
over
me?
at Maiden's Watch Bridge. Huh?
Me?
No, Grax.
Oh.
Yeah. So yeah, Grax would meet up with probably Woody and Dirge as they're heading into the brothel.
Another one.
Yeah. And Grax has a dagger and a healing potion that he gained.
Then I got the whip, don't I?
You did not get the chains.
Why
He didn't put them on you.
Weren't excited enough.
Yeah.
not?
Looks like you've already got started.
You didn't use the safe word.
He grappled me with them, didn't he?
No, he grappled you with his hands, and he started to. His
Oh,
next
okay.
action
He
was
did.
going to be to use the chains,
Okay.
but he didn't want to fail tying you up and then take another 10 damage to the face and die. So,
What's the safe word?
Schlugenflanger.
Schlugenflanger.
Didn't pronounce it right. You're getting something up your butt.
The safe word is moist.
Anyways, so what's Stormir doing? Is he just still chilling out, eating his meal?
What's the edge roll up to?
I'm gonna roll investigation checks for the two people looking for him.
Oh, I hope they find them because they're going to die.
Why?
Well, I thought you meant the assassins.
No, the two people looking for Stormir.
Oh, yeah. No, never mind then.
Yeah. Woody was like, "Hey, we'll give you gold to go find this guy." Ben, are you there?
Yo, what's up?
Yeah. What's Stormir doing? Is he still chilling out eating?
He's gonna get up and walk out of the bar or pub or whatever you want to call it,
Okay.
and he's gonna. Is there like a outside place to sit or whatever, or like a beer garden or something nearby, like just a park or just something with benches where he could just like chill out at and enjoy being
yeah.
outside?
The park would be the Forge Ring. Would kind of like go where you'd go to just kind of watch people be. It is one of the nicer areas. The next nearest park would be on the way to the Chantry, or rather the nearby Temple of Fire.
Okay.
But yeah, both of those would be deeper into the city proper.
Okay. I'm gonna kind of wander over towards one of those parks.
Okay. Well, Stormir would know where the Forge Ring is, and he's seen it before.
Okay.
You get over there. As described before, there are a few structures lining this place, and some nicer houses erected in the area. But most of what's in the Forge Ring are large pavilions and tents where people set up for the day to pursue their craft. Some crafting sculptures of art, most crafting weapons and displaying them. there are some people teaching classes on how to craft an oath blade.
Oh, cool.
The whole area just rings with hammer and life.
I want to learn how to make stuff.
You can specifically crafting an oath blade as a woman's job.
Okay. I'm all for gender equality, Brandon. Jesus.
Hey, go for it, man.
Ben.
Yeah, Vikings are a very open and forthright society.
One of the things, as Stormir seems to be the only one accidentally tackling this list, one of the things Elena...
There's a list?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and roll.
Oh, the list that Elena gave us, right.
Yeah. One of the things she did say she needed was 5 Smith's apprentices, as Malik cannot work alone.
Okay, I'll try to recruit some apprentices.
Okay.
Wait.
Yeah.
What am I working on?
Oh, not Malik.
Stuff.
Wait.
Don't
yeah.
worry about it.
You're Malik. The guy Elena kidnapped and convinced to work for her is named Leroy Malik. But you're Malik.
Yeah, well.
He's Malik. You're Malach.
He needs to go away.
Well, I mean, you can kill him if you'd like. You guys have seen him multiple times. Fiery Wind Axe. All right. 3 mana. Let's go. Anyways, yeah, so Stormir is chilling in the Forge Ring. You're not able to get very far into your questioning before a woman approaches you and says, "Excuse me, what? Oh, you're him." She rolled a 19 on her investigation check. She would explain to you that she encountered a very gorgeous elf who was looking for you and asked her to bring you to a gentleman's club of sorts.
May I ask the name of who was requesting my presence and what he wanted me there for?
I don't think Woody ever gave his name, did he?
I did not.
Yeah,
on purpose.
He would.
Could you describe him?
Yeah, she would describe the gorgeousness of Woody as I think he does have a 17 on appearance.
18.
And 18 in appearance. And would also say that she thinks he was implying that you guys were lovers. And she would go on to state it would do her heart some good to see you reunited.
Hold on a second. I have the perfect response to this because I can't. Just give me 2 minutes. I gotta find. Aha! I found it. All right, so I'm gonna post this in the Google Hangouts chat, and I want everyone to open up that link and look at it, and that's Stormier's reaction to what she just said to me.
You're breaking her heart. She was literally only involved for the story.
She said, I looked at her and said, he said we were lovers?
She said, well, not in his words. He implied, and then she makes a lewd gesture with her hands.
So I'm gonna cross my arms across my chest and be like, that was, no, just no. Just no. No.
All right. Does Stormier follow her or?
Yeah, I'll follow her.
As you guys walk and conversate towards the lucky lass, I'm gonna roll another percentage die. 56.
Crazy numbers.
Yeah. So Lantern would be heading back to the Forge District.
Yeah.
You guys could both do a passive perception check or active perception check if you'd like. as you know, you kind of are in a side of town that you caused a ruckus in, but you guys would be passing nearby each other, literally going in opposite directions.
Oh, Woody and I would be. Wait, you want me to roll a perception?
Lantier and Stormier.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Lantier would definitely notice. It would depend on if Lantier was being stealthy or not. If Stormweir would notice on that 12.
No one noticed me during the well, except for one person. But like none of the guards or anything noticed me during the whole thing. So I mean, I'm not gonna be stealthy or anything. I'm just gonna go and sit across the street and watch.
Okay, yeah, Stormier would notice Lantier, and likewise, Lantier. Stormier is walking with a woman who's chatting with him, where she seems to kind of have a lazy face. She seems to be speaking with interest, mostly talking about how silly she feels of all the people she talked to, looking for the elf's lost lover barbarian.
Oi, Stormier.
Yeah. I'm gonna like look around and be like, "Who said my name?"
Have you been letting goat fucker put it up your ass?
Oh, look. What are you talking about?
I can hear what she's saying. You've been fucking goat fucker?
I'm gonna look at.
You would look very
at
surprised and just be like, "Wait, you actually have been?"
I'm gonna look at Lantern and look back to her and say, just kind of stammer and say, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I'm gonna roll persuasion on her to permanently make her believe this.
I mean, so far, one source told her yes, another source told her no. Two are telling her yes. She nods and says, she says, I don't believe it. Then leans over to Lantier and whispers very quietly, he's ashamed. He just doesn't want to admit it. It's so beautiful.
You know, I really do believe it is tragic that he can't accept his own sexuality. I mean,
she's going to shove Lantier's shoulder as he's talking and say, shh, shh, shh. She turns back to Stormier and says, I think whatever is between you is perfectly healthy and is your business.
I'm just gonna ignore her. Look in the opposite direction.
Yeah, she points to the direction they're walking and says, we're headed to reunite them now, if you'd like to come.
I am not reuniting.
I think it's going to be quite the scene.
Nobody. Oh yeah, it's gonna be quite the scene, all right.
Honestly, man, I'm torn here because on the one hand, I wanna continue staking out this house. Madam, I have a question for you.
She nods. I rolled this NPC on a random generator. Her thing was is bored and is looking to have strike up conversations with passerbys. So she took interest in Woody's quest. That was it. That's all I have to go on for this NPC. She's got no name and no nothing else.
After we reunite my dear friend here with his long lost lover, would you be willing to come and
oh baby, would I?
Watch this house for maybe 2 or 3 hours a day?
She says, is there payment in it?
Of course, I'm going to pay you quite well, and maybe, could possibly try and strike up some conversations with the people coming in and out of it.
Yeah, she would
Find out.
she would shrug and say, normally I sit in the forge ring for free. Heck, of course I'll do it for money. She is now a 3/3. Guys that played 2 cards to up your questing adventure. Yeah, so you guys head back to
Questing adventure starts out as a 2-2.
Oh, does it? Oh, she's a 4/4. Look at that. She's strong. But you guys head back to the Lucky Lass. And you meet up with the rest, or most of your party, except for Malik. Malik was headed to the Chantry. That is... Oh, okay, yeah. So, you want to pick up with Malik at the Chantry at the start of next session?
Sure.
All right. What Chantry is he heading to? So I can just write it down in my notes.
He's actually going to be going to the Temple of Omnia.
Okay, that is on the complete opposite side of town.
Oh, never mind then.
No, I mean he can do that. There's a high chance he'd pass by the party doing so, though.
Whichever one's closest, and then he'll go to the temple.
Okay. And would he be going to the official Chantry's building, or would he be going to one of their smaller worship centers? Because there are plenty of them around town.
Well, he's looking for employment, so one of the worship centers probably isn't going to be the best shot.
Okay, I got it written down. We're going to end there tonight. Very nice, slow session. I hope everybody had time to get a little bit more intimate with their characters as...
Oh, baby.
Yeah, as Woody and Stormy are going to be very intimate. Either Woody's face intimate with Stormier's fist, or Woody's butt intimate with Stormier's fist. In any case, there will be butt, face, or there will be fist and Woody involved.
Yes.
I was going to buy.
Me.
So Woody's a fan of fisting.
Oh my god! I offered to buy my companions some entertainment for the evening, but it seems like they got that covered.
It's like normally Stormier would just go apeshit and like beat the fuck out of you, but like he knows you're into that sort of thing, like sexually.
All right, but
I don't even know what to think right now, man.
Harder, Stormier, harder.
Fuck all of you.
I'm gonna play your character, Ben.
I'm not gonna go event by event. I think I'm just gonna say 1,000 flat XP for the session.
Oh snap! I level
That
up.
seem fair to everybody?
What about my combat experience?
Brandon.
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
do you realize what you've done?
You guys all hit 5?
I hit 5.
I hit 5.
What's 5?
Yeah.
Big power spike.
6,500.
How much XP did we get?
Well, see, Stormier has the information to knock 2 things off of Elena's list. So, big on his part. Malik has the information to get you guys some money. Pretty big on his part. Lantier has... oh, fudge. Lantier. Need to roll one more check. Okay, cool. Lantier has dived deeper into his personal story. Grax just discovered what his was. Somebody just tried to kidnap him.
Apparently, my personal story is you're trying to turn Stormier into a raging homosexual.
Hey, I'm not. That's Woody. Yeah. The only one who, probably didn't wholly advance their story tonight was Woody, but his only lingering quest right now is steal the Sunstone when if things get out of hand.
But say, how the fuck am I gonna get the Sunstone from Lantier? But
I mean, you're an elf. He's got to sleep sometime. You
That's
only
true.
trance.
it's true. Yeah, it's true. Eventually.
Yeah, but so far it hasn't been pressing.
Yeah.
Hey,
Also,
I
too.
earned the party like
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll say I earned the party like 300 gold and a job.
Yeah. You got the party one heck of a job. What Dirge doesn't know that the party does know is they bumped into Lady Surreal once in Hellenis. They didn't talk to her directly, but they went to talk to one of her servants. It's like, why are there like 100 people outside this house? Whatever. Hey, we're looking to kill this one dude, and the servant's like, oh, it's that one over there. And I'm like, okay, thanks, bye. You guys all have fun. They're like, thanks, we will. Yeah, but that is a very connected person.
Not to be disconnected, if you know what I mean.
Hey, if Dirge can pull it off, Kaz is going to be hyper impressed. I'm going to print screen probably the NPCs from tonight and save them in your guys' folder. But yeah, otherwise, pretty good session. This will probably be the last of our slow sessions for the next 3 or 4 ones.
And by the way, I think start next session. Everybody, if anybody has any equipment that they need, it's on Dirge. Just let them know.
I'm gonna have you buy me a nice shiny new axe.
I've got 483 gold, and he is not above using it to outfit his unit, as it were.
Proficiency bonus +3. Bonus attack. Oh my god. I'm going to ooze prowess on the battlefield.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be so good.
You guys are going to need it, too.
Woody.
Oh, and I get fast movement too. Nice.
Generally, what I'm also trying
and
to implement is more leveled content. Generally, everybody you guys interacted with tonight, you could have chosen to kill. Would have had consequences, but
I could have killed the potion maker.
yeah, you could have. You're in a room alone with them.
Well, I mean, we're good with that, dude.
But you talk too much.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. You know, you could kill the councilman in his office and leave him there, but what good would it do?
Milk them for all the gold they're worth, then kill them.
Yeah.
Hey Brandon,
Yes.
it's on. So just on my character sheet on Roll20, it's not letting me change my modifiers.
It should change it.
Didn't get the actual number of XP that we got, though.
1,000. Hold on. Let me pull up Stormier.
Oh wait, never mind. It just changes it by itself. That's kind
Yeah,
of
it does it automatically when you input another level.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, let's schedule the next session real quick. So for group 1, you guys will be on the 22nd. Is everybody able to make that day? Oh wait. Isn't that is that tabletop gaming day?
No, you're thinking the 29th of last month.
Okay, I had May DM event at Visions.
I'm rolling my
Oh,
health.
that was a thing that we were gonna try and do, and it ended up not working out.
Oh, okay,
I rolled an
yeah.
11.
It's
Look
like
at that.
testing content or something. All right, so is the
Look at
22nd good
that.
for everybody?
Look at
Hi, Captain.
look at that. Look at that. Not Dookie
Wait,
health roll.
Did you not get a 1?
I got an 11. I got double ones.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to mandate that you re-roll that. You have
Nope.
a trend.
Nope.
About Ben.
I'm taking my 16 health. and running.
Hey, so what spell do you guys think I should get? Should I go with some decent AoE or should I get a disable? Because